Well, hello, and welcome back, and happy Twixmas. I don't know if that's what it's officially called, or it's just something my family called it, but it's this odd time between Christmas and New Year where we've all eaten too much, nobody knows what day of the week it is, or what you're supposed to be doing, or even if you really care. Oh dear, I hope you've all had a lovely rest. And some good celebration time. Now, I wanted to quickly jump in and just say hello. I'm missing you all like crazy. Talk through what we're going to be doing on my channel next year, and also to do the flip through that I promised you of the Advent stitching, or stitching Advent. I can't even remember what I called it now, see? Too much chocolate. So, first of all, if you're anything like us, you will have had boxes of shortbread and chocolates and things like that. And this time of the year, they are super, super pretty and offer you all kinds of stuff for your journals. So if it hasn't already crossed your mind, you should be making sure that before you throw out any of your Christmas packaging, you're checking to see if it's something that you can use for next year's journaling around this time. Well, before this time, you know what I mean. So that's why I've got my Robin box there, and I'm obviously very definitely keeping that. I did also have some chutney as a gift from Santa, and it had this from top to bottom of the box. What a beautiful shape. So I've put some tissue paper and some ink on it, and that's ready to go into my 52 collage. I'll show you more of that when we get there. So yeah, think about your packagings. Okay, so next year I'm going to be changing things up a little bit. I'm finding that being here 5 days a week is sometimes, not always, sometimes a little bit too much pressure on my family. So we are cutting down a bit. I'm going to be here on Tuesdays, and on Tuesdays I'm going to be doing anything and everything. All sorts of random crafts will be on a Tuesday. Thursday will remain our Margaret Miller collage day. There will be Sunday stitching going on because I am doing the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. And the weekly postcards that we did, the postcards home, will be turning into monthly memory envelopes. So I'll be showing you all about that as well. And for those of you that are not in my Facebook group, you won't be aware that we do a monthly swap. Well, this year I'm going to be doing a monthly challenge. So it's going to be a 5-item challenge. And there's going to be one for each of the 12 months of the year. And they'll all be ephemera items that go into a journal or get given away as Happy Mail at the end of the year. And they'll all have a theme, and they must all have the 5 items on. Now, this is purely because I became very aware in December that doing the December daily of the Ephemera was just impossible for me. I couldn't keep up with it. I felt guilty, and it put me in a not a good place. So I think I actually mentioned before, you know, weekly challenges, monthly challenges, fantastic, because you've got a long time to fit it in. But daily, every day for a month is too much for me, which is why I'm not doing Junk Journal January. So you won't be seeing Junk Journal January here, but I am going to be doing this monthly 5-item challenge. I'm going to do the monthly memory envelopes, Sunday stitching, Thursday Margaret Miller collage, and Tuesday random crafting. So that's what's coming for you next year. So you're waiting to see this, aren't you? Now, as you can see, I'm going to turn it round so it's facing you rather than me, and I'm going to roll it very slowly. So obviously this is the fastening. It's just off centre, it's to the left, and you can see all of the different things that I've put on here. There's all the fabrics that we use throughout the, well, it's not a journal, is it? Stitch book, whatever. There's also some items just for this. I made a stocking. I couldn't help myself putting a few Christmas elements in because of the time of year that it is. All the fabrics again, various bits of lace. And there's a picture of hubby and I, because, you know, it's our Christmas, it's our anniversary and all those other things. And this was my advent from him, so it made sense. More fabrics and laces. There's some bead stitching up here. There's a big mass of Suffolk puffs there. This is only actually finished yesterday, so more fabrics, more lace, more lace, more lace, and we get back to our opening. Now, I did, as I said I would, cut a slice out of a shirt for this. So this was a man's shirt that I got in a charity shop, and I just trimmed out, I don't know, 7.5-ish inches from it. The inside, on, as it were, the front, is just the fabric that I've lined it with. On the back, we have got some decorative trim, and we've got some lace, and the lace has made a pocket for these tags, because I've done some tags through it. Okay, and it's stitched under here to the cover, so it's not coming out. Okay, so number one has got a tag or a tab on it. Now, this is never all going to fit in the camera, so we're going to have to open and shut. So we've got our background fabric. We've got some lace that's making a pocket for one of my tags, and we've got a number one. And then we open it out and we see number one image, which is the flower with the cutouts and the original duvet behind. Picture number two was one of our hearts with some lace and some Suffolk puff and some more lace. I'm going to close it up just because it won't fit. And then as you come over, that was our ducks with, and there's a tab at the top on a number of these that you'll see. There's another heart here with a mixture of fabrics, and you'll see I've done French knots all through the lace. And this was our chickadee on the branch with the blossoms. Another heart, a lot of stitchery and beads running through that one. And this was our woven one with that, oh, I can't think what it's called now, but that piece that I made there, and the broderie anglaise that I made there, and a safety pin, and the stitched leaf, and the buttons, and another tab. Then this one was our double flower, and I did this cross diamond stitch in the background. This was the one with the waves, and I did that giant button that I've been holding on to for years that my daughter's bought me. And then I stitched through the waves there, and then I just added a piece of that raw wool there and stitched it sort of into the fabric. And this is my owl. I love my owl. We called him the drunken owl because he looked sort of wrong but right, and I just absolutely adore him. It's nowhere near the owl I started out doing, but you remember I did the gold stitching and I put the beads on the cross points, and that made it all sort of quilted. And then one of the fabrics was this, and it just made me so happy and smiley. So then I was like, okay, this is going to be my owl, and off we went. And there's the raw wool again. So yeah, there was my drunken owl, and another tab. And then as we come over here, it's another one that I love, with a flower, with the lace and the odd stitching around the edge. And this was the 24th fabric of these animals in the woodland. and I decided that at this point I wouldn't do anything to that page. I may come back and stitch at him or add some buttons or something, but for now, all those bits of stitchery, I'm leaving it just like that. And you can see that's where it's attached there. I then used various fabrics and Tim Holtz stamps to make tags that related to the various dates. So like this one, 20th of December 96, that's when we got married. And this one is 21st December 2000, that's when we took the girls to Lapland. So all those things that have happened in December have all got their own little tag, and a lot of them you'll see as we go through the back are in pockets, and there's a few there. So now I'm going to go the other way, so I'm pulling it all the way across here, and you'll see we've got 1 and 2, whoops, I have to keep coming, and 3. Now 1 was the pocket that I talked to you about. 2 has just got some fancy net curtain shape. 3 has got another one of these mini stockings, couldn't help it with the Christmas again. 4 has just lace and stitchery under its number. 5 is a different kind of lace under its number, and I've put the number right on the SKU there, just felt like it. Number 6 has got a pocket again, so we got the fabric, and this was actually out of my stash, because the fabric that was this day I decided I didn't like enough to put in here, so I think it was boating or something, which just didn't feel right. So then we got some lace there, and our number 6, and a tag that goes in that pocket there. And I've put my tags deliberately in date order. Same happened here. You'll recognise this as a bit of hubby's shirt. And then we got another wonky number, just the mood I was in, on some lace there, making another pocket. Number 8 is just some netty lace under the number. Number 9 is more of that green lace under our number. Number 10, we've got another pocket and another tag, and you can see the reverse side of the tab there with a button on. And then number 11 is this large broderie anglaise pocket, which I absolutely love. There's another tag in there. And then last but by no means least is number 12 with this beautiful embroidered lace and a big number 12, and then quite a lot of pink stitchery. So there you are. That is how my stitching advent ended up, and it's all concertinaed and it all piles back on itself. Oh, I've done this wrong now, haven't I? Here, it goes the other way. Goes the other way, Claire. So it goes that way, the numbers face each other and the pictures face each other, and that makes sure that it's a good concertina like that, and that gives us our number 1 right on the very front. And then it all just lines back up, the back bit comes over, the front bit comes over, and we just do up our shirt buttons, and that's that done. So I'm going to put that on my shelf and admire it during the year. I'm going to unpack the pile of fabrics that I had here and add the paper bags to my stash. So before I go, I'm just going to introduce you to my journal of stitchery. Now, I know it's called She Wandered Down the Garden Path, and I know that the girls, Sarah and, oh goodness me, I can't think of her name, Rachel, Sarah and Rachel, are doing a spindle. They're using either a rolling pin or a bobbin or a wall hanging to make much more of a snippet roll type thing. that wasn't overly for me. I am going to do that because I have got a couple of wooden bobbins around. I mean, I've got this little one, for example, which actually had craft ribbon on it. So that is about 2.5 inches. So I will do a little thin one that goes on there, but that's not going to keep me busy enough. So I'm also going to do a book. I'm going to do it concertina again. No, I'm not doing it concertina because, see, I'm jumping ahead of myself. As much as I loved doing the Stitching Advent one, adding the concertina pieces on was very, very difficult. So I've made myself just a front cover that will be attached, and I've got plenty of space here for a spine and then a back cover. So that's what I'm doing now, and I've already made my book base. So this is wadding, and I've given myself, as you can see there, I've given myself a 3-inch spine by the height that I wanted, which is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 9.5. Okay, and then what I've done is I cut all my wadding, I've got dog hairs on it, cut all my wadding double. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6. So I cut it 12 by 9.25 or whatever it was, and then I folded it in half, and I've stitched that half to this spine in exactly the same way we would with paper. So if anybody wants to do a book, this is the way I'm doing mine. And I have got, you can see by my pins, I've got 2, 4, 6 pages folded in half. Okay, so that is how I will be dealing with this. And you see what will happen is that will stitch to the very first one, that will wrap the spine, and then I'll have my back piece there and I'll cut it off. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll with my new one. This is the one that we've done. And these things here that I told you about is what we're going to be doing next year. So have a fantastic new year. Enjoy any spare time that you've got with your family or crafting or whatever it is that you're doing. And I'll be back with you, oh my goodness, next year. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye for now.